Hey, how's it going, guys? Back again with another video. This time, just to keep up the trend of trying to encourage people to try out new roles. I'm going to be looking at every single one of the supports today, and hopefully show you some interesting things you might not have known about them that'll make you want to play them more, because I really love the support role. I think a lot of the characters super creative designs, super interesting designs, and I just think they're a little bit underappreciated, and support is a vital role. If you don't have at least 2 supports on your team, I really don't think you can win unless the other team is just like incompetent or something. But so I'm just going to go through every single one of them and just kind of try and give you something interesting you might not know about them that will really help you with your gameplay. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first character we're going to be talking about today is Loki. He's easily one of the highest skill ceiling supports just because of how kind of, useful his clones can be, even while just being hard to use, right? Hard to master. But super duper important is obviously you're always going to want to have 2 out if you can, and because they're going to be shooting with you. This will, triple your healing and triple your damage output, which obviously is pretty crazy and kind of necessary for Loki. I mean, if he doesn't have his clones, his damage is very underwhelming. But I mean, you all know how the clones work, right? The kind of interesting thing, 2 things I wanted to point out really quick is one, obviously Loki's passive backstab, it's not crazy useful. It doesn't do that much damage. It does actually do more than one of his bolts though, which is pretty useful if maybe like you're 1v1ing a tank because they just pop up on you and you manage to be able to get around them. It's kind of useful to shoot melee because you'll just be doing more damage over time by doing that. But one thing I found really cool is that his clones also get this passive, and will also, well, hold on, this guy's looking at us funny. His clones also get this passive and will also melee with you. So for all 3 meleeing this clone at the same time, it's triple backstab damage. That will 2-shot a squishy. Will this ever come up in a real game? I really don't know, but it'd be pretty interesting if somebody could pull it off, because I think it's really funny. So triple backstab and melee is one of my favorite things to do with Loki. Also, obviously, becoming invincible is pretty fun, since you all 3 get turrets. And the last little kind of minute tip that I wanted to kind of bring up for Loki is that his clones will shoot wherever you're pointing from anywhere, right? So if you're in spawn and one of your clones happens to still be alive, you can like kind of aim where one of your friends would be, or like where one of these guys is, but you're from spawn. It is pretty difficult to do, especially like when there's a wall right here, but it can be very useful walking back from spawn and one of your teammates is getting, melted. Oh, I can heal them a little bit from all the way back from spawn. Right, so that's pretty cool. So it's very useful to still have your clones out even when you're dead. So that's pretty helpful. And that's about all I can think of for Loki. He's very fun. I suggest you just try him out for yourself. And, go mess some people up with the triple backstab. If anybody gets a clip of this, please send it to me because I think it's hilarious. But yeah. Okay, so for Cloak and Dagger, it was kind of hard for me to really even think of anything. They're very straightforward characters. And I also don't play them that often because I kind of think they're boring. That's just me. I know they're very popular characters, but I just don't really enjoy like the aimbot. I don't enjoy the low damage. Obviously, it's a bit higher, with Cloak. But one thing, obviously, when she's not targeting onto somebody, her bullets ricochet. This isn't crazy useful, but it is kind of interesting. If you're like a ricochet god or something, it's pretty cool. With Cloak, he actually I think has one of the fastest melees in the game, which but obviously not crazy useful, but it is kind of interesting if you just happen to be close to your opponent. I mean, go for it, man. It's pretty important to be starting engagements with your darkness because then they are blind, and obviously it does damage, so you'd rather do that than finishing them off with this little darkness thingy here. his LT, it says that they become untargetable. So when I read that, I thought, okay, they can't be targeted by things like this move right here, or by Wanda, or by maybe Star-Lord ult, certain things like that. But actually, they're just completely invulnerable. They just don't take damage. They basically don't exist for a second. So this is insanely useful for avoiding ults, like Iron Man Maximum Pulse or Wanda ult. Basically, Cloak is a hard counter to Wanda, I guess. But so that's about it for them. Oh, last very, very important thing to know for them with their ultimate, it actually does not stack. So see, I'm gonna go into them 3 times. It is not stacking the damage. They will take the same amount of damage, kind of like Torbjorn ult. It does not stack damage based on how much is there. The only thing is that it'll keep it in the same area for longer, but it does not stack damage. So it is very important to just kind of cover as much ground as possible. I was kind of disappointed when I saw that. I thought it'd be really crazy to just melt people who happen to walk into that little cloud, but nope, it does not stack. So keep that in mind and just cover as much ground as you can. So that's pretty much it for Cloak and Dagger. Alright, so this is Jeff the Land Shark. Obviously everybody knows this guy. Very, very infamous in the community. Of course, he is also, I mean, he's fairly simple. He does have a few kind of interesting things that I noticed about him that I'm not sure everybody is really talking about that much. So one thing, his bubbles, whenever you pop them, they actually boop enemies away, and I thought that was really interesting, just because, I mean, these are basically perfect for saving yourself from you know, getting engaged on, or maybe saving one of your friends from far away, because I mean, you can launch them, right? So if you have good aim with these things, oh, my friend is getting dove by the venom back there, I'm gonna save him, bounce the venom away, give him a speed boost, get him health. I mean, it's really crazy what he can do. Important thing to know with his ultimate, or I guess really the enemy ultimate, when I'm sure everybody's seen the clips, but basically if an enemy Jeff is ulting and they're about to, you know, come throw your team off the ledge, you can't eat Jeff while he's in ult. But if he's about to spit him out and you ult as soon as he spits him out, nom 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 nom, you can eat him back up, and then they do not fall off the map, and Jeff is very sad. So that's a really, really useful and honestly not that difficult thing to do with Jeff's ult. It sounds difficult, it's really not that hard. Last kind of thing I can think of for him that I didn't realize and I kind of thought was crazy, which I've kind of found out with a lot of characters recently in this game. Jeff does not have fall off damage at all. It does not fall off. It stays the same no matter how far away you are from your enemy. It's crazy to me. So you saw how quickly it was killing them. There, I get closer, it is doing the same amount of damage. So kind of spamming your bolt into chokes as Jeff is really crazy, even from far away. So that's really, really cool. Last thing, doesn't matter at all. He does have 2 melee animations, one for backing up and one for going forwards. So if you're trying to like roleplay as Jeff, make sure you're chomping or spanking. I don't know, man. Just, you know, you do you. So that's pretty much Jeff. Not much else I can say about him that is too interesting. So yeah. Alright, moving on to Mantis herself. This character is really crazy, but there's not too much I could tell you that you don't already know. Just something that one of my friends was wondering that I wasn't even sure about the answer on. Do her heals stack? And no, they do not. That is one important thing to learn. They do not. Okay, well, let me explain. She gets a burst of healing at the very beginning of landing the heal, right? And if you mash it, you do get multiple bursts, but you do not get like double the timer, right? So she has a timer for healing over time, and it is best if, you know, they don't need the healing immediately to just wait the timer out before you heal them again, because then you're getting the full heals over time just by like delaying it a little bit. So that is very important. I mean, it's the same with buffing, and buffing, it does not stack. Even if you have like a 4 stack of buffs, you're going to be doing the same amount of damage you would with just 1 buff. So so don't bother like stacking buffs on top of buffs on top of buffs. And you know that also has a cooldown you can see on the right side there. Her sleep, you are the only knock, just like Ana in Overwatch, you only knock enemies out of sleep by hitting them. It's not like Hulk where he's the only one that can knock them out. Anybody can knock them out, or you can actually kill this thingy back here, but I don't think anybody really does that. So that is how they would get out of sleep faster. And last pretty important thing to note, it's super obvious, but when you're in ult, you have pretty much zero need to be healing people. You are going to spam Inspire, you're going to spam damage boost for yourself. You are not going to heal anybody until your ult is over, because it's healing people for you. This is pretty simple. You probably knew most of this already. So, you know, go play Mantis. She's really good right now. And have a blast. Alright, so everybody knows how to play Luna Snow. I mean, a very popular character right now because she's also a very good character right now. So back-to-back top tiers in my personal opinion. So, you know, if you're looking to just hop into support and win games, I think these two are the ones to do it. They don't take a crazy amount of skill, pretty simplistic kits. But a few important things to just think about when you're playing these characters. So strafing back and forth with her, with Luna, doesn't really work that well because she doesn't have the speed boost. So the best way to be strafing back and forth is to be maintaining that forward momentum. Obviously not super helpful if you're not trying to run straight into the enemy team, but just keep it in mind that it's possible to maintain your speed if you're holding forwards. So just think about that a lot. Her snowball is a CC, so it can cancel all the ults that can be cancelled by CC, so that is pretty important to remember. The way her little orb works, I'm sure you know how it works. Obviously, it's kind of like Zen, where every time she's healing, she ends up healing that person also. Not exactly like Zen, obviously. Let's see. Important thing to realize with her is that her little stance kind of goes and it heals her, right? So this is basically her escape option, so just keep that in mind. You also cannot get headshots during this, so don't be using that as like a damage boost. Only use it to escape if you're getting like attacked, because it gives you healing over time. And the last little tip is actually a settings tip with her, specifically for console, because PC players, they can just kind of set her ult. They can put it on the wheel, just look at that tech for like swapping back and forth quickly. But for console players, you see how quickly I'm swapping between. You probably can't even tell that I'm swapping because of how fast it is. That is a setting. It's like, let's see, you get a controller, you go to combat, you go to change hero, and then you would go true hold to toggle performance. So you want to turn that on, and then it will automatically swap every single time you press RT or R2 or whatever. For PC, it's going to be even easier for you guys because you can set it to scroll wheel, and then it switches so fast. But you don't really need it to be that much faster, honestly, so it works pretty well for console. That is pretty much all I can think of with Luna, so let's move on. Alright, so moving on to my personal favorite support to play. I just think he's very fun. I don't think he's amazing or anything, but he is a very fun character. So a few things to remember. One, his healing orb will slow down when it hits enemy, or when it hits your friends, but it moves very fast when you launch it. So if you shoot at the ground, it actually will move faster than just shooting it straight. At least that's what I've heard. It honestly kind of looks the same, but shooting at the ground kind of gives it a like, you know. So if it feels better to you, go ahead. He doesn't really have a lot of very interesting things like creative that you wouldn't just know from using his kit. One kind of important thing to remember is his little res range. For some reason, it doesn't exactly tell you from what I can tell. But this is about how far I figured it out. Not exactly a scientific number or anything, but it gets the job done. I'm trying to. So his res thing is shoots out armor packs. Obviously, pretty useful. Like kind of if you set it out at the beginning of the round. But there's also a unique pack that it'll send out. Hold on, let me get it away from my friends. So armor pack. Give me the blue one. It'll shoot out like oh, there it is. So I've just never seen this in game before. I only ever really noticed it when I took Rocket into training. But if you pick up a blue pack, I don't know if it's just Rocket or anybody can pick it up. You get like a little, like you just get like a double jump or something. And it's pretty useful. It's pretty interesting. Rocket obviously has slow fall. Also, remember he has wall run, and it's like one of the best wall runs in the game. I mean, it's, you know, you get like infinite mobility with this. Makes him very difficult to hit, and he's already got a very small hitbox, so that is just important to keep in mind. That wall run is kind of crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have no idea how that just happened, but do that. You pretty much want to stay in the air as him like all the time. Maybe it's like kind of like a healer Pharah. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. It could just be like a training mode glitch, but you know. Anyways, that's pretty much Rocket. Make sure that if your thingy is getting shot down, to break it instead of just letting it die, because it'll make the cooldown 5 seconds instead of like 45 seconds. He also does have pretty bad fall off, so just keep that in mind. And that's about all I can think of for Rocket. Alright, we're on to our very last support, Adam Warlock, another personal favorite of mine. He was my support main in the beta, and I just thought he had a super cool kit, very fun design, and Loki did actually insane damage. Obviously, very important to remember, if you are not using his charge for like every interaction other than maybe with flyers, then you're messing up. Even with flyers, the charge works fine. So just, you know, oh my god, I'm missing every shot. But yeah, just use charge all the time, especially if you can't aim like me. And charge is broken. Charge is crazy. It does insane damage. I hate fighting warlocks, honestly, because I'm scared. I'm scared of fighting them. You know, you can always follow up because charge is not going to one shot, but if you follow up with a headshot, it'll kill any squishy. So that's very useful. The way Soul Bond works is it will basically dish out the damage like evenly among everybody, so you're not taking much of damage. Everybody knows how the moves work and everything. Important thing to know, the most important thing I can think of with him, because I still, even in ranked, I see stupid people not properly using his ult. So don't feed with this thing, right? First of all, everybody is respawning with, I think, about 100 health, so you are going to want to instantly link, instantly heal. And that is very important when you're rezzing. Also, notice how my teammates are dead, right? Okay, watch this. And they're dead, and my res is not going to work on them until I walk into range. Okay, well, screw this game because they already respawn. Basically, you have to walk. Yeah, you see that big golden circle right there? That is the range of teammates that will like be rezzed by you. They're corpses. If you walk near their corpses with that golden ring, that's how you would res them. So it's pretty much, it's very important to put your res somewhere that is not going to get blown up by the enemy team immediately. Kind of hide it a little bit, and then you can run out to your friends' dead bodies and bring them back. And that is very important to learn with Warlock. You're not just going to res them from literally anywhere on screen. So just make sure you're doing that every single time. It's actually insane how many times my Warlock has thrown just by you know, resing like in the middle of the arena, and then somebody's just like, okay, magic's like I'll swing my sword twice, and everybody dies again. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's Adam Warlock, and that's actually the entire video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found some of these tips cool, because I really gotta get some more good support players in my games, because clearly I'm not the best at them. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with anybody who insta-locks DPS, because they're awful people, and you know, the usual. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.